What about it, YouTube? Okay, I'm going to make a few videos covering this issue. It's going to be hard to unpackage. That's why I've sat on it for so long, but it's time that I work on this. So, what is it? The Flat Earth heresy. So, the first video is going to be, who is behind the Flat Earth heresy? And who in history has been behind the Flat Earth heresy? Well, just so happens that today's Flat Earth heresy is a guy named Daniel Shenton. Okay? What's interesting about Daniel Shenton is that he's an evolutionist. So let's keep that in mind. He's an evolutionist. Oh, and he believes in global warming. I don't know how a flat earther believes in global warming. But they do say that flat earthers have members all around the globe, so maybe it is possible. Where does the name Shenton come from? Well, it comes from Jews that wanted to change their name to something easier to pronounce and spell. Okay. So we have a Jewish evolutionist, and it's not the first Jewish evolutionist to be involved. I'm not sure if this is his daddy or what, but got to be related. Samuel Shenton founded a small fringe group dubbed the Flat Earth Society in the 1950s. Oh, interesting. Interesting. And if you go back 150 some odd years ago, there was a guy named Irving. Washington Irving. He lived 1783 to 1859. What's he famous for? He's famous for pushing this myth that entered the public's perception because of his wide readership. Okay? And what he did was, he put out a book called The Life and Voyages of Christopher Columbus, and it talked about how, in his fictional book, that everyone was against Columbus, including some of the people on his ship, because everyone believed in flat earth that were Christians, and Christians were kooks. And had it not been for the bravery of this Columbus to stand up against the kook Christians, we would still be suffering with flat earth nonsense. Well, that's the first case. Oh, Irving. What's that? Irving is another Jewish name, borrowed from the Scottish. Jews love to do that. Jews love to change their name so that you might be confused who they are. So we've got Jews historically and currently that believe in pushing flat earth on Christians. Yeah. Because that's what's happening now too with this evolutionist guy. Flat earth, you'll probably notice, is mostly got Christians behind it. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, God's enemy has decided to bring out a heresy, and not only that, to do it in a way where they get Christians to spread it like rabies. Perfect. If you guys could only understand how you're being manipulated and who's behind your destruction, how they start these groups and how then they get you to carry the water for them. And these nonsensical heresies. You run around talking about how it's biblical. They sold you all that crap. It's not biblical. It doesn't say anywhere in there that the earth is flat. The closest you can come to is that it says something about the earth is round. It says something about God stands above the round, but the word could be interpreted as sphere as well. And there's so many examples throughout history of Christians talking about the earth being a globe. Flat earth was never, ever a theological standpoint. Not ever. Not in the time of Thomas Aquinas. Not in the time of Bede. Or Bede, I think you say his name. Bede. That guy was ahead of his time. He lived in like the 600s, 700s. And that guy explained how the Bible confirmed that the earth was spherical. He wasn't doing it against flat earthers, by the way. He was just doing it through the scripture. But anyway, that's this video. First video is just to let you know who has brought you the flat earth. Next video I'm going to do will be on why they brought it to you at this time. What the timing is behind it, because that's very important. But just so you Christians know, it's the people who killed Jesus. It's God's enemy. It's the people who say, never forgive, never forget, rather than forgive 7 times 70. Keep that in mind. They're the people that say, by deception thou shalt wage war, rather than love your enemies. Keep that in mind. They're the ones who say, Jews run porn because we hate, or we think Christ sucks. Okay? Rather than the Christian model for how to behave sexually. Okay? So, that's who's brought it to you. That's right. That's who runs it. That's who's brought it to you. The Shenton guy, he goes back, man. His daddy or somebody from the 50s started the first one, and then he had it all packaged up and ready to go for you at this certain time. This descendant. Okay? This is all coordinated. You need to understand that. It's all coordinated. And it's always done to make Jews look like, or Christians look like idiots, and to be ridiculed. Okay? So that's the other thing. You're allowing people to mock God and mock you with this heresy. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. That'll be on why at this time Flat Earth had to come out, why you were suckered into it, and why it's going on now. Stay tuned, folks.